Saying I don't know will literally put you to where you need to be in life, wherever you want to be in life. Saying I don't know will always put you in the student's place to receive knowledge on whatever that you want. Because when you start to look around at these great things in life, a lot of these things, a lot of these products, businesses, whatever that you run into, were made up by people who are no smarter than you. And just saying I don't know has set me up for a life of freedom. It set me up for a life of peace, especially in a world where everyone wants the answers to everything. And life is not meant to always have the answers for it. And I know it's pretty easy to say. I mean, especially when we have our cell phones, we have Google. We can literally search up answers in a matter of 3 minutes if you want, any answers that we want. And saying I don't know will literally just open up everything for you. Saying I don't know to people, especially when people may have a certain knowledge on something that you want, they'll always be willing to help you as long as you're able to listen. And that's the big thing, especially when we look around and we have social media. I mean, our time and attention is basically robbed from us from the start as soon as we wake up. And it basically fills our head with a bunch of noise. And everyone feel like they know everything. But just simply saying, I don't know, will literally open up so many doors for you, man. And that's something that I learned throughout my 26 years of life. I kind of compare it to myself right now, being a mechanic. It was a time and a point where I wasn't a mechanic. I didn't know anything about cars. I remember just being at that point where I was just trying to find a job, and I basically pulled up to this random car dealership on like a random Thursday, and I walked in trying to find a job. I talked to like the receptionist. She was a nice lady, and she asked me basically what I want. And I told her, hey, maybe something in cars. And she took me right back there to the foreman. And I told him myself, I'm like, look, I don't have much knowledge on this. I don't really understand a lot of this, but I'm willing to put in the work. And he basically hired me on the spot right there because I was willing to learn. I didn't come from a point of knowing everything. Even when I do have certain knowledge on everything, it's always in your advantage to basically say, I don't know. There are certain tips and tricks that you may not know about that somebody else may know about. I know certain people like things to be done a certain way, but it always opens you up. It opens up the mind to always being in a place, to not being so still and bitter, and basically having all the answers to everything. Simple thing about that is just, like I say, life is not meant to have the answers to. It's just not. I remember growing up, talking to my grandma many times, she was basically living her life. She's in the kitchen talking to her friends, and something she always said is stay in a child's place, which I understand. But at the same time, while you're open to his knowledge, you don't want to let people basically disrespect you. Life is always about having that certain balance in what you have going on, for sure. But always have your ears open and always be willing to learn. I notice that about just life, period. If you want to be in a place where you've never been before, you have to become valuable. You want to make more money on your job, you have to become valuable. And the only way to become valuable is learning. I know a lot of times where We look back, and everyone has basically started from somewhere. And I'm pretty sure in those beginnings, a lot of us weren't great and within whatever we do. No matter if that's with our job or with our hobbies or anything, we weren't great. But we learned to become great through repetition. We learned to become great through persistence and consistency. And it's such a huge thing to understand within that simple statement that we basically say every day. Just saying, I don't know. So, I know this is kind of short, but I just knew it was something that I just wanted to talk about real quick. But yeah, man, just saying, I don't know. So, have a good one.